The campus sweetheart is completely whipped for me, and so is her older sister. When we sleep, she's on my left in white thigh highs and her sister's on my right in black ones. It all started a few days ago. I happened to glance up at the moon, and ended up finding a drop-dead gorgeous girl passed out drunk at the entrance of a bar. She claimed her cat could do the splits, and asked me to walk her home. I figured it was on my way, so I was nice enough to help her up. But the second she stood, she collapsed right into my arms, murmuring something incoherent under her breath. Seeing the state she was in, I just went ahead and scooped her up bridal style, and walked quickly toward her place. On the way, I took a quiet look at the woman in my arms. She had beautiful almond-shaped eyes staring dreamily up at me, a flushed heart-shaped face, a fitted white blouse, and a bodycon skirt. This woman was pure dangerous elegance. By the time I finally got her to her front door, she clung to me like an octopus, refusing to let go no matter what, just nuzzling her head back and forth against my chest. Out of options, I gently turned her face toward the door. "Do you remember the passcode?" She spotted the familiar keypad through her haze, and without even thinking, blurted it out. "It's digits 15 through 21 of pi." I got the door open and stepped inside. The place was completely dark. I planned to drop her on the couch and slip out quietly, but before I could, she suddenly spun around, shoved me against the wall, and kicked the door shut. Then she looped both arms around my neck and pulled my head down toward her. She rose onto her tiptoes, and the next moment her soft lips pressed against mine. My brain completely short-circuited. She was stuck to me like glue. No matter how I tried, she wouldn't let go. About 2.5 minutes later, the sound of a door opening came from outside, followed by a sweet voice. "Sis, are you home? How come you're not picking up my calls?" The overhead light snapped on, and the three of us just stared at each other. I looked at the girl standing there. She was wearing a white sailor uniform top with a black midi skirt and those familiar almond-shaped eyes. Wait, wasn't this Wendy Yu, the most famous girl on the entire Yunhai University campus? And on top of that, my own classmate. Even though Wendy and I had never spoken, a face that stunning, there was no way I'd ever forget it. And she called the woman her sister. So they were sisters. The campus beauty's older sister had just made a move on me. In this moment, Wendy looked nothing like her usual cool, distant self. She was standing at the door like the friendly girl next door, sizing us both up. What she saw was her sister up on her tiptoes, arms wrapped around my neck, face completely flushed and kissing me on the lips. The guy looked vaguely familiar, but she couldn't place where she'd seen him. One thing was pretty clear though. This was obviously her sister getting cozy with her boyfriend at home. With that conclusion in mind, Wendy quickly covered her eyes, but couldn't resist peeking through her fingers. And with a grin said, Oops, my bad sis, I didn't realize you were already home. I'll just head to my room and go to sleep." She said that and started sidestepping past us toward her bedroom. Hearing that, I finally snapped back to reality. I quickly pulled my mouth free. "Hey, come help me out. Your sister is drunk. She's completely lost it right now. If you leave, I might actually end up as your brother-in-law." Wendy froze for a second, then it clicked. She rushed over to help peel her sister off me. Wendy steadied her and asked, "Sis, what happened to you?" At this point, Claire seemed to be sobering up slightly and mumbled out, "Take me to get a shower." Then she glanced over at me. "He's a friend of mine." Wendy quickly guided her toward the bathroom and looked back to wave me toward the couch. I stood there, not sure what to do. Leaving felt weird. After all, I'd shown up at a girl's apartment while she was drunk, and things had kind of gotten out of hand. But staying felt awkward too, with the sound of the shower running in the background. I had no choice but to sit quietly on the couch and wait. After her shower, Claire gradually came back to her senses. But when she thought back to what had just happened, her face went bright red all over again. Wendy noticed her sister's strange expression and gently asked, "Sis, why did you drink so much tonight? And who is that guy out there?" Claire paused and looked down, lost in thought. She worked as a bartender, and sometimes customers would pressure her into taking a drink with them. Tonight she had only taken one sip from a drink someone handed her, and suddenly felt her whole body burning up, dizzy and completely disoriented. Thank goodness she had run into him tonight. Otherwise, the situation could have turned really bad. But she didn't want Wendy to know all the details, so she just said casually, "The bar had an event tonight. I accidentally had a little too much. I'll be more careful next time. That guy out there is a coworker of mine." Hearing that, Wendy immediately gave a knowing look. "Oh, so just a coworker. Honestly, he's pretty gentlemanly. He didn't try anything even while you were drunk, just looks a little young." Claire looked at Wendy's slightly smug expression and decided not to push it. She just gave a quiet and a moment later, the two sisters changed into their pajamas and came out of the bathroom. Claire was in a black lace silk nightgown, all grown-up sophistication. Wendy had on a pink pajama set with little white bunnies printed on it. Pure girl next door energy. Claire's cheeks were still slightly flushed as she spoke softly. "Thank you for walking me home tonight." I quickly shook my hand. "Don't mention it." Wendy leaned in with a nosy grin. "Sis, what's your coworker's name?" Hearing that, I looked over at Claire, confused. Internally thinking, she actually gave me a cover story, but seeing Claire shoot me that helpless, pleading look, even though I didn't know why she was hiding the truth, I figured I'd see it through. "My name is Kyle. I'm your sister's coworker." Wendy silently turned the name over in her head. Kyle, that name and that face seemed so familiar. Was there someone with the same name at school? Then Wendy introduced herself. "I'm Wendy. Nice to meet you. Can I call you Big Bro Kyle?" I was internally exasperated. "Girl, we are literally classmates. What exactly did your sister tell you?" Claire caught on and immediately changed the subject. "Wendy, I'm actually a little hungry. Could you make me a bowl of noodles?" Wendy knew her sister was trying to get rid of her, but she pouted and agreed anyway. Once Wendy disappeared into the kitchen, Claire quickly sat down across from me and leaned forward. "I genuinely can't thank you enough for your help tonight." I waved her off. "Seriously, it was nothing. Don't worry about it." Noticing my awkward expression, Claire thought back to earlier. Her face flushed slightly. "Let me give you something for your trouble." I shook my head quickly. No. Seriously, it was the least I could do. No, I insist. This was a huge deal. But I left my phone at work today. You can just add my sister on text, though. And I'll send it to you through her. Claire grabbed Wendy's phone as she said it. Seeing how insistent she was about adding Wendy's contact, I had no choice but to go along with it, planning to add it and then get out of there as fast as possible, leaving already. I don't want to keep you both. Just make sure to grab the payment I sent you. I stepped out the door as I said it. Wendy heard the door click and came out to check. Thinking she had somehow ruined the moment, she rushed out after me. But the moment she opened the door, she stopped dead. There I was, standing at Unit 602 directly across the hall, punching in the passcode to my own front door, and looking back at her completely bewildered. Then came a beep and the door swung open. Wendy barely held back her laughter. So big, bro Kyle lives right across the hall. At that, Claire appeared in the doorway too. What's going on, Wendy? Wendy turned to her sister in a playful whine. Sis, big bro Kyle lives right across from us? And you never told me. Claire looked over in surprise. You live here? Sis, you didn't know either. I honestly had no idea. This was all getting way too complicated. I'd been trying to slip quietly back home, and somehow this girl had chased me down. Seeing the situation unfold, I hurried to explain it. I just moved in a few days ago. Wendy's eyes lit up like stars. Wow. Just a co-worker and he moves in right across the hall. What are the odds? She then turned to her sister with puppy dog eyes. Sis, can we invite big bro Kyle over for dinner tomorrow? He walked you all the way home. Shouldn't we treat him properly? Kyle, can you come over for dinner tomorrow? Just think of it as celebrating becoming neighbors, and well, how could I say no to that? Watching the girl who was always ice cold at school, sweetly calling me big brother nonsense.